Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, whatever you are, welcome back to 1-0. And oh my gosh, does it feel good to say that. I've missed us so much. We got the camera in front, the lights are flashing, everyone's flashing. We went away for a little bit, but I'm back. 1-0 is back. We're ready to kick it off. Had my exams, went away for a little week, had a bit of a break, and now we are ready to make next year, 2021 nil, a year to remember. So you wouldn't have seen the title, you would have gone Costa. You've gone away, you've had your exams. You kind of lost the plot a little bit, but no, I haven't. Because everything I say here, I believe, lads and lasses, if you're watching. Whether it's United finishing second, whether it's Liverpool finishing third, doesn't matter. Everything I say here, I believe, which is why today, Tottenham Hotspur will win the league. I know, process that. Before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe. I'd love 300 subs by the end of the year. Finish it off on a high. 270 would be cool too, whatever you want. But the team that is getting led by Jose Mourinho, who in my club, Manchester United, left a bit of a sour taste because we really set him up to fail. It happens every time with United. That's a different story. Don't let me start on United. It's a touchy subject at the moment, boys. But they brought him in, and at the time, it's like a relationship that you get into. I wouldn't know, but it's like a relationship that you get into, and you go, you know what, it'll do for a year. You're touching the waters a little bit. That's what it felt like, because the name Mourinho and Tottenham, you kind of feel like Hotspurs are punching a little bit above their weight. And this is after Pochettino took him, they had a good relationship there, took him to the Champions League final, really overachieved, but they needed something different. And I think Mourinho is exactly what they needed. It's easier to say now after we're seeing the success that they're having so far, but that bit of character. I've seen clips from that All or Nothing documentary where, Kane says, I want to be like Messi or Ronaldo. And Mourinho says, he's a brand. He's got a name to himself around the world. And he said, I want to do that with you. Hazard Kane. And so far, whatever Salt Bay he's putting on, he is enjoying every minute of it. Now, it's early on in the season. It could be a bit of an overreaction. If they end up finishing 6th after I make this video, then still just subscribe because we love thy boys. But what we're seeing him doing with Harry Kane, and I said a couple of weeks ago in a podcast where he's almost playing in a similar Wayne Rooney role, where Rooney wasn't really the number 9, but he wasn't the number 10. He was more of a 9.5. So kind of playing a little deeper role. And Harry Kane, we can see this year, that man can ping a ball. He can ping a ball, which is now letting Son run in, whoever it is on the other side, whether it be Bale, Lucas, Bergeron, whatever you want, which is also another positive thing where they've got players who can come in and still do the same job. Gareth Bale coming off the bench, not really a bad little player to come off the bench, if I might say so myself. Defensively, they've been decent. Lloris, they've always had him there. Ndombele seems to be doing a solid. But I think it's how they're winning games. Because I still think on paper, Holberg I really like from Southampton, really like him. But I think it's how they're winning games, which is why they've tickled my fancy a little bit. Because Mourinho's not pretty. They're not going to win games in a pretty fashion. And I think people knew that. And I think that's why Tottenham fans at the start kind of go, we've got to win games, but how have we got to win them? Now, we look from last game against Tottenham. Against Arsenal in the North London derby. Sorry, it's been a while. And did they play amazing football? Yeah. But they ended up winning 2-0. I know Arsenal are a mid-table team, whatever, fighting for relegation. They should have enough to stand up if you get the reference, big ups. But it's how they're winning games. They 0-0 draw against Chelsea at home. And Mourinho in the press conference after. I'm a big thing for personalities like after the game and how the player reacts, which is why Bruno is my knight in shining armor, because he scores and bang, you can see the passion. And Mourinho after that Chelsea game comes out and he goes, we took a point away from Chelsea, their competitors at Stamford Bridge. And the thing that got him fired up inside was he went inside to the change room and it was like they lost. And every player there felt like we couldn't have won that. And we're disappointed that we didn't leave here with 3 points. Now, if you can instill that mentality already into a team who hasn't tasted any success, really, we're talking Liverpool status in terms of mentality and the way you think, the way to win, which is what we're seeing clubs like Manchester United now kind of lacking, and give them that extra little edge into becoming that better team. You know, teams like Leicester probably like that a little bit too. They've got a bit of a why not attitude, but the Liverpool are what make them that elite where they've got the injuries. They go and pummel 4-0 Wolves. So it's a different kind of gravy that we're talking about. So why Tottenham will win the league? Leave in the comments why you think or who you think will win the league. But I think they're going to win it just because when Mourinho has to grind out a win, he can grind out a win. You get me? He can grind out a win. If he needs to go to Old Trafford and get 1 point, he's not leaving with 0. He's got to do anything he can to leave with that 1 point. Which is why I think, especially this season, where you're looking at teams like United who are vulnerable, you're looking at teams like Chelsea who are good and they've been playing very good football. They've got a solid squad. But I don't think they have that fear factor to them still. I don't think clubs go, oh, we're playing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Let's be nervous. I think clubs are still able to go, yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. Why not? We kind of saw with Palace a little bit too, a long time ago now. And I think that's why this year should be Tottenham's year. But we cannot forget about Liverpool. That's the big problem here. The injuries they've had, Van Dijk, Gomez, Salah was missing a bit. Henderson was out for a bit. Milner was out for a bit. All these players are out for a little bit. They had injuries coming here and there. I think Trent's still injured. Alisson obviously still. So they've had a bigger injury list than Christmas list. So why did people forget about them straight away? Because that team is so good that if you take one person out, you're kind of like, does it mess up their little thing? Because they've got such a role. Every single player has such a role in that team. I don't think they're going to win the league, but I think they'll still be. They'll finish first or second. Second, because I said I don't think they're going to win the league, but they'll still definitely be up there. I think they'll still be the best team this season, but they won't win the league. Because once again, I'm going to say it again, when Mourinho needs to grind a victory, he's going to grind a victory. We've seen it hundreds of times before. Let's run through the fixtures they've got coming up. Obviously, they're in Europa League also. So it's group stages they can pretty much afford to play, even though they drew three to Lusk or whatever. They can still kind of afford to rotate a couple of players. Sit Son on the bench for a little bit. Start Lucas. Start Sissoko. Start these players who are a little bit on the fringe. Get game time into them. Obviously, they've got Europa League coming up. Crystal Palace game. Liverpool game Thursday, the 12th. Sorry, the 17th. We're in December. That is a huge game. I might live stream that game actually on Twitch. 1-0x on Twitch. Go follow that if you have it. That could almost be, if Liverpool win that comfortably, like a 3-0 victory, then you'll see people flipping on Tottenham straight away, which I think is still too early to say that, from my personal opinion. But if Tottenham can go to Anfield, who now have got fans in the stadium, still only like 2,000 whatever it is, but it's so good to have fans back. If Tottenham can go there and walk away with a point, it gives them that extra bit of, you know what, yeah, why not? And Mourinho, like I said, man, Mourinho's different gravy. Mourinho's going to say, we're going to Anfield, boys. Yeah. Guess what? We're going to go there. We're going to win. We're going to play attacking football. Harry Kane is going to see that 30-year-old Nico Williams, or whatever his name is, who's like actually 21, but he looks 40 years old with 4 kids and a pension in defense. And Harry Kane's going, I'm going to run amok, bro. They're going to say Nico Williams at left back, right back. Son is going to go, thanks for coming. Give me a bit of soy sauce with that too. So this is what I mean. They're going to come out and just go, you know what, let's go for it. That Liverpool game is huge, and it's very soon. A couple of days from now, 2 weeks from now, that is big. Following that, they've got Leicester, Wolves, Fulham, Leeds, Villa, Sheffield. And then those 2 games, Liverpool and Leicester, if they can walk away from those 2 games with 4 points out of the possible 6 against those 2 quality and competitions, I think it's happy days for Tottenham, which is why I'm sticking to them for winning the league. I think if they don't win the Premier League, obviously we could be getting a little bit excited. I don't like Tottenham, really. I don't like them, but I'm loving what I'm seeing as a football fan. If you know what you get what I mean, we're all football fans. If they don't win the Premier League, I think they'll definitely will win a trophy, whether it be Europa League, EFL Cup, FA Cup. They're in the quarterfinals against Stoke in the EFL Cup. I think they'll definitely will win a trophy, which once again, a very Jose Mourinho thing to do. He's got to get a statue. If he wins a trophy, Mourinho will get a statue, and he will be forever in the arms of Tottenham Hotspur fans. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Can Tottenham still win the league? Will they win the league? And who do you think will win the league? Is it Liverpool? Is it United? Is it Man City? A team that's kind of a bit here and there with the football they're playing. It's definitely not Arsenal. Can Everton still push for it, really? I think it's still open, which I'm enjoying. But if you enjoyed, please subscribe, do all that fancy stuff. I'm gassed to be back recording videos. Got to be another one coming soon. Next year, 2021 nil. It's a big year. Huge year. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Costa. Deuces.